Good morning, you bunch of beautiful chickens. How are we doing? It's your boy Trey coming back here again from Trey's Trades for an AMC update. And just want to give you guys a little bit of a background here on last night in case you caught that video before we get going into this. But nonetheless, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Trey's Trades, where we freaking talk fast and don't skip class, baby. Like a breakfast by saying that I'm a financial advisor or expert. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's get into the video. So I want to give you guys just kind of an update on the short volume percentage sort of situation, the Ortex data, just very briefly. Talk about the volume and how that can actually relate to price action and your own personal financial responsibility. I don't pull that trigger for you. That's entirely your decision. But just personally, some things that I would consider before you make any sort of transactions, right? So, before we get into that, I kind of want to talk about last night. There was just, I'm not going to get into the details per se, but just some personal things that come up. I'm a very passionate person on both sides of things, right? I feel very strongly that the people that I care about, the things that I care about, the things that I want to do, my aspirations, my goals, my dreams, right? I feel that very strongly, and I'm never going to bullshit anybody, right? I try and be absolutely real with everybody out there. I care a lot about the things that I care about. And in the same way, the people, the things, the aspirations that I care about, when things don't go right, I feel that too. And that's as much as I want to say about that sort of situation. But, something that I would like to think and say is it's not bad to hurt or to be in pain, It's good to feel things when you feel them as long as you recognize it, right? I give myself a 24-hour rule, essentially. I give myself 24 hours whenever something good or something bad happens to feel those things so that I can learn from it, grow from it, enjoy it, right? and walk away and continue on with my life. And that's kind of where I'm sitting right now in terms of what happened yesterday. So, I want to say it was really freaking cool and heartwarming to see how many people reached out and showed me support. But you can't really account for, the internet, man. You really can't. It's an incredible thing to see how many people out there got the freaking 8 back. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I get uncomfortable talking about that sort of stuff. So we're just gonna move on. But nonetheless, I just wanted to tell all of you that I love you and I appreciate that you reached out and tried to help me out. So with that being said, I want to talk about the Ortex data, the short volume percentage. So Ortex just recently slapped out a new freaking updated current short interest percentage of free float, and they give you these daily updates, right? But about 2 times a month, bi-monthly, you'll get updates that come from the exchange, and this can give you a more realistic picture of what 85% of the exchange reported short interest data looks like. And that number jumped up astronomically, 18.56%, which is 94.92 million shares. That is huge. Now, I want to put this into perspective, right? Let's currently look at the estimated short interest of free float. Look at that spike. Before, it was estimated that the short interest was somewhere in that 14% range, and now it's 18%. That's a lot of shares that were unaccounted for. So I've said this before, I'll say it again. This short interest is a trend, right? It's not the exact number, and typically I think it's lower than you're actually seeing, right? Check this out. 94.92 million current short interest percentage of free float, but the shares alone is 97 million. Right? That's absolutely nuts. That's absurd. I mean, that's a discrepancy of 0.4%, which means almost every single share on loan is currently being shorted into the market, which is disgusting. So you guys should be jacked about that. And it's actually affirmed with this uptick that we're seeing in shorting into the market. Check this out. This is daily short sale volume percentage. And the last 2 days, you saw 46 and 49% short volume percentage, which is going up, right? That's a stupid trend. That's the craziest thing ever, guys. I mean, think about this for a second. Think about this. It's like going up to freaking Rocky Balboa, and this dude's just beat the freaking shit out of you, and you're laying down on the ground, and you're just freaking on your knees, can't do anything, and you get back up and you say, just hit me again. He says, well, why? And I said, I just like the beating. I just like when you hit me. That's like what's happening right now, guys. I mean, there are good shorts in the market. There's bad shorts in the market. This is not something I would hold a long-term short in ever. It makes no sense because you just, as a shorter, as a hedge, as a suit, you cannot predict where this is going to go. It just doesn't make sense. But yet, it is happening. The Ortex data shows that the actual short interest is higher than it was previously estimated, and I think that's going to be something that, the people, you need to remember, right? do not take everything Ortex says, whether it's high, whether it's low, at face value. It's a trend, right? If the short interest is going down, that's a trend, right? It doesn't say that every single short in the market's covered. If the short interest is going up, it doesn't say that it's even showing you all the short interest, right? You gotta just look at this as a trend and say, hey, look, short interest is going up. You've got the average days on loan currently sitting at 31. It's actually taking a pretty steep decline. So some of these are newer shorts. That would mean that a lot of these short positions were established a month ago. You look back a month ago, currently it is June 25th. That would be the 25th of May, which would mean that the average short position is now at a cost of about $16. Still down substantially, right? But that's kind of what you got rocking up right now. Now, one other thing that I want to talk about here is just the average volume on the day, right? The volume has been going down. So far here in the pre-market, we're at 47,000 on Webull alone, right? Webull only shows you the Webull pre-market volume, then it shows you all exchange volume outside of the off-exchange and dark pool, obviously, after that. But it's going down right now. It's in a downtrend in how much volume is going on, right? And this is a consolidation phase. So that's why the volume is going down. Less volume equals less volatility equals less price action in the up or the downside, right? Now, with downtrending volume means you're not going to have as much volatility on options, specifically call options, right? Stock, I think it's never a bad thing to buy if you think it's a good time to buy. Call options are about timing, right? You want to time call options because of theta, time decay, right? Now, personally, this is just me. You do what you got to do. I'm just here to offer one freaking random dude in the middle of nowhere who knows where the hell I am. I'm just not here to offer my opinion, right? But you're losing a lot of, theta, time decay and value, intrinsic value on each of these call options with each passing day if you just simply hold on to them, right? So you want to time it as best as you can so you're not losing that value. Now, how do you do that, right? Now, this is just me. You do what you got to do, but you watch the volume. You watch the volume go back in an uptrend, right? So, for instance, right here, you saw an abnormal spike in trading volume. It kind of plateaued a little bit here, got another little bump until it started this nice uptrend in volume. If you see an unusual day of trading volume, meaning that it bumps up something like this, right? You saw 53 million the day before that, and then you saw 294 million, right? What would the equivalent of that be? 79 million in volume yesterday. Maybe you saw 250 million in volume today, 300 million in volume today, right? That to me would be a sign that you could get the volume that's going to support the volatility for certain call options to start running in the money if you're to purchase out the money call options, right? That's just something that I personally watch for. You also want to watch for a nice technical breakout, right? Now, what's a nice technical breakout look like? Look at this on the 1 hour candles. It would be a break over $63, right? So if you see a hard move over $63, you get an hourly candle that's testing that $63 mark, you can pick up a call option for that, right? You want to kind of pair up the best of your ability, both of those things, so that you can get the volatility to drive those IVs up, right? So you can get that gamma, that delta, that really makes that call option grow in intrinsic value. Otherwise, you're just watching it slowly decline. And this is something you really need to think about too, because the call options right now are expensive. They're really, really expensive. $10.85 a share is $1,000 for one call for the $57 strike, right? I mean, you even go out the money pretty deep to $100, and you're looking at $345 a contract. Some people can't afford that, right? So you really, really want to time to the best of your ability when you're purchasing a call option. That's not my decision to make for you. That's entirely yours if you play calls, right? But it's just something to think about while we are in this fluff phase, this consolidation phase of AMC trading the way that it is. So it didn't quite get that $63 test that we were hoping for, right? But it did come to those high 50s, low 60s and reject. And so far, it has come down to that $54 to $56 range in which I predicted, right? I thought that was a pretty likely scenario if it was going to pull back. And that is, in fact, what did happen, right? It pulled back to that $54 to $56 range, which is the upper echelon of this Fibonacci retracement box that I've drawn up before, right? So what you're hoping for now is a bounce off of that consolidation zone to get back up to that high 50s, low 60s range, test $63, get a clean break, in which case the next range of resistance is going to be, I would say, between $67 to $70. So that's kind of what you're watching for right now. I stand firm with my essentially, melt up zone, as some people would call it, to this $108 to $114 range. That is where I think this is going to end up, having the next level of resistance once it gets to that new all-time high over $77. So that's kind of what I've got drawn up for you guys right now. That's what I think is fascinating and cool about what's cooking up on AMC Stock, and I'm doing absolutely okay. So I appreciate everybody that showed some love. I'll tell you what, you guys are like a family to me. I've said that a million times, but I really do mean that. I pull confidence and I pull energy from the community when I need it. The same way that you guys maybe pull energy from the community too. It's a powerful thing. This apes together strong thing, my friends. I mean, you cannot underestimate and understate how powerful that truly is. like push this fucking finance stuff to the side. People first. Always people first. That's you gotta take people seriously in terms of, what their problems are, their stories, their whys. And I'm so happy to see that there are people out there who got each other's backs, It's a really cool thing. It's a really cool thing. That's my honest to God, my favorite part of what's happened here with AMC is the community and the way that it's brought so many different people together, regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, political agenda, whatever it may be, location on the world. It's a really beautiful thing. It really is. So that's what I've got for you guys. Blah, blah, blah. I know this drop like a subscribe. Whatever do, my friends. Catch you on the next one. Light taps. Light taps, baby. Much love and peace.